going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am Lonnie from FlightSim Gaming. Today we are doing another FSim Studio E-Jet flight here. We're down at Salt Lake City flying with the Alaska SkyWest operator. We're heading down to Seattle. Real-world flight done by Alaskan SkyWest. I got the call sign up top there. We are at stand Bravo 10. I do have GSX, I guess, loading up the aircraft. For whatever reason, I cannot import the sim brief through it, which is okay. But at least we have, you know, a jetway attached and baggage loading up and things like that. So originally we were going to do a flight down to Victoria from Seattle, but I decided, you know, that's a short flight. Let's just, you know, do it from Salt Lake. This flight is a pretty regular scheduled flight from back and forth from Seattle to Salt Lake City. So anyway, we're here. Let's get inside. I got the aircraft APU on. I got the batteries on, things like that. So we'll come down here, and we got passengers boarding now. We'll go ahead and load up the aircraft as fast as we can here. Performance is not that great at this airport. I don't know if it's you know, part aircraft, part airport, but definitely 24 FPS is just not ideal. But anyway, nav ident. Here's your nav page here. Make sure that all your dates are correct. Everything looks good. Come over to this page here, the route page. We're going to go ahead and plug in our arrival. And we are SkyWest 3311. Plug that in the flight ID. Perfect. Departure tab, runway. We are departing off of 16 right on the Sigle 1 Twin Falls transition. We'll go ahead and apply that. From Twin Falls, we are going direct to Pendleton. So I guess I don't need to put any more waypoints in there. We're going to go strictly to our arrival. And we are expecting 16 left in Seattle. On the ILS approach, come over to Star tab here. It's on the Chins 5 approach. And then Pendleton transition. We'll go ahead and apply that. Fantastic. Make sure our waypoints look okay. We'll see what the aircraft does as we approach Seattle. We had some problems in the last flight there, but that's okay. We're gonna look at our taxi fuel. It's Salt Lake. It's 163/100. And we'll plug that in there. Cruise out for today's flight. We are flying up to 34,000 feet. Cruise winds, we are looking at 221.63. Zero fuel weight, 29948. And while we are there, let's come over here. And we are actually going to plug in our weights here. Block fuel of 4523. So 4604 is fine, and we have a payload of 7,094. 7,139 kg. We'll plug in the center of gravity momentarily because we have to come down here. We have to add the flight. Import from sim brief. Check that off. Check that off. Perfect. Come over to the departure tab here and we'll plug in the performance. So 16 right and it's dry. We're going to go flaps 2. The wind direction currently in Salt Lake, 160 at 14, gusting 23. Holy shit. Okay. 160, 14. It's 32 degrees currently. And QNH of 1019. 1019, and we'll calculate that. We will manifest, and we will have our takeoff center of gravity, zero fuel weight center of gravity, 20.5. Now, empty CG position. I don't know which one we're gonna put in. I would assume it's probably this one. 20.5. 20.5. 20.5. And our V speed's 133, 137. We're not there yet. We'll come over to our climb page here. Transalt is good, and then our landing descent tab, Transalt is good. Takeoff page here. Oh, I guess first thing I could do is we can go ahead and plug in our nav for ILS. 16 left. .3. Takeoff tab here. We have a runway heading. I believe it's a 164. Yes, it is. 164. The wind here in Salt Lake. The winds have picked up. 160 at 14. Takeoff data sheet. We'll plug that one. We'll plug that one. That is good. We'll come back over to our takeoff page. V speed's 133, 137, 143. And a VFS of 193. Flaps 2. And trim of 3.7. Perfect. That's it. That is the aircraft loaded up. We'll go ahead and we'll secure the doors here. We have some doors open down here. We'll go ahead and close that door. And let's call up GSX and we'll prepare for pushback. Plug that one. Flight directors are on. We have our QNH set. I do know it's 23,000 feet initial climb.
Hello, Captain. We are ready for pushback.
While GSX is doing its thing, we'll come over to Nadigraph here and we'll show you the departure out of Salt Lake. We're on the Signal 1 RNAV departure. 16 left, 16 right. Climb right turn on a heading between 280 clockwise to 340 as assigned by ATC. Top alt. Flight level 230. So basically it's going to be runway heading, radar vectors, first waypoint.
Departure checks completed. Bypass pin inserted.
Pretty straightforward. Don't forget, everybody, if you're enjoying the E-Jets content, smash down that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. I would greatly appreciate that. Almost at 400 subs on the channel. Probably not going to do many flights in this aircraft. I do know this week, August 1st, FlightSim Studios is going to be doing a scheduled release of version 0.9.16. Hopefully they can get their stuff together, get the ILS working. They are building their own ILS systems because right now this aircraft uses the default Microsoft FlightSim ILS system and it's not that great.
Release parking brakes. Commencing push.
So,
all engines clear.
And then I believe VNAV will be implemented too. So we'll see how that goes. We didn't clean up this overhead panel here. I apologize. Should have been done. Emergency exit lights are armed. No smoking, fasten seatbelt lights are on, and electric pump A is on. So we'll go ahead, start up engine number 2. But yeah, it would be nice to have a working VNAV. Otherwise, you have to kind of calculate your own top of descent. That's a little bit of a pain in the ass. They want you to use flight level change on the descent, but I just find flight level change is not that great. The aircraft descends way too fast, and it's just not a smooth option. You might as well go vertical speed and descend at 2,000 feet or something. Engine number 2 starting. We'll go ahead and select engine number 1 to the start position.
parking brake.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine start. You can disconnect.
Waiting for engine number 1 N1 percentage to rise up there. Not going to worry about the speed. We'll leave it at 165. I don't know what to put that to on initial takeoff. It's probably your V2 speeds. I don't know. 165 is fine. We have auto throttle is set. As you can see, it shows takeoff there. 2 good engines. APU can come off.
Unlocking gear.
Taxi lights are on. And we'll go ahead. Flaps 2. Yeah, this is a great aircraft to fly. It's a has a very good flight dynamic system built into it. But just the systems aren't that great. But I am enjoying it. It's something different. And we'll keep flying this aircraft. We'll go to Europe. I know they do have this aircraft out in France and in Poland. While they're unlocking the gear, let's look at our taxi routing. APU sounds like it's finally off. Come over to the taxi charts here. We are going to go apron to Alpha, make a right on Alpha, to Alpha 10, and head on out 16 right. Waiting for the go-ahead. Have a good trip. We'll release that parking brake and takeoff config. Takeoff is okay. All right, let's go. It's going to be a pretty windy takeoff, so we'll see how the aircraft performs on rotation. I can anticipate the rudder being super sensitive. So we got the flaps 2 set. Auto throttle is set. We are climbing up 23,000 feet on the initial climb. Flight directors are on. Perfect. This is Bravo here. We're going to make the next right. Here's Alpha here. This aircraft is definitely not FlightSim ready. I don't know when it ever, when it will be. Hopefully sometime in the near future for people that are flying this aircraft. I think one thing I'm going to purchase is Beyond ATC. I kind of want to try that. Went ahead and selected our heading. Should have had this aircraft prepped properly prior to departure, but that's okay. So, how this aircraft works is initial takeoff, you're going to pitch Whatever it says down here, I think mine said 10 degrees, maybe 12 degrees. And then it's going to be gear up, flight level change. And then you can bug up and then start moving your flaps up. We're looking for Alpha 10. This is Alpha 7. Definitely not a huge fan of the performance here. Let's go ahead and slow some of the, bleed off some of the speed here. I'm going to come up top here. Can actually access this stuff here. Okay, so I have all this other stuff turned down, so we will have a smooth, we should have a smooth experience in this aircraft. They also say if you turn these down, it helps with the performance. And I don't know if that, maybe we gained an FPS, I'm not sure. Didn't change anything. Alpha 9. We're gonna go ahead and make a left up here. By the way, first time down in Salt Lake City. Ever. This scenery was released, I believe, sometime in June. Prior to that, we did not have a good Salt Lake City scenery. So big ups to FlightSim for getting this one done for us. Turn on the signs. We are going to take a rolling start here. We have our heading selected. Straighten out. Throttle's up to 40. And toga set. It's going to be super, super gusty. I can already feel the aircraft wanting to pull off there to the left. 80 knots, check. And rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gear going up. Oh, that's a messy, messy takeoff roll there. We're going to go ahead and flight level change. And we're going to go heading select. My, oh my. Very, very gusty departure out of here. We're going to follow heading for a little bit. And then we are going to go nav. And then we're going to go direct. Aircraft should start rotating to the right. We'll bug up 210. Laps 1. And we'll go ahead, flaps full. Gonna go ahead and put on autopilot. And we'll bug up 250. Ground terrain's a little messed up there. Airport is right over here. And we're going to go ahead and get up to 34,000 feet. By the way, altimeter, you don't need to set in this aircraft. It does get preset. 10,000 feet. Landing lights are off. Y'all probably wondering why I did not set altimeter. It's always set, so we don't have to worry about that. Okay, we have flaps are up, gear is up. We just passed 11,300. Let's bug up. We're gonna go 280 on the speed. There is no speed restraints. We do have altitude restraints at our first waypoint. Corber, we gotta be above 13,000 feet, which we're going to be, so we don't have to worry about that, but no speed restraints. Continue that speed up to 290. Beautiful. It's a nice looking plane. I gotta say, the model of the aircraft is really nice to look at. Nice little voiceover there to the passengers in the cabin. It's pretty cool. Couldn't really hear it, but that's okay. Anyway, I'm going to fly the aircraft up to 34,000 feet, and I will catch y'all on the descent into Seattle. Should be fun. Hopefully, the aircraft tracks the nav properly. We'll see what happens. Anyway, catch y'all in a bit, ladies and gents. Thanks for coming out. Peace! Going on, ladies and gents, welcome back to the video. Currently on the descent into Seattle. We are expecting the ILS 16 right, not the left. Right now 16 left is being used for departures, so we'll reserve that space for departing aircraft, so we'll go on the 16 right. That's where the landing aircrafts are arriving. We just passed about past 19,000 feet currently. We need to I'll show you the actual arrival here into Seattle. So this is the Chins 5 arrival. We need to be, as we pass Auburn, we need to be at 250 knots, cross and maintain 12,000. That's what we're trying to do. I started my descent just after the Yakima VOR. So far the descent has been pretty good. I'm in vertical speed. I'm not in flight level change, just because flight level change I find they descends us a little too quick. Let's come over here and let me quickly adjust my altimeter. It's 3017. I didn't pull up my charts there for some reason, so give me one sec. $3017. Try this again. There we go. So we need to be at Auburn at 250 knots, cross and maintain at 12,000, and then we're going to vector ourselves on a 343 heading for the approach. The winds in Seattle 190 at 7 knots, visibility 10 miles, scattered clouds at 3,000, temperature 21, altimeter 3017, and we are expecting the ILS 16 right. This is what the approach looks like. We're not going all the way to Zicro. I believe the flight plan has us crossing again to the runway. So we have our frequency there, 110.75. I'll make sure we have that set in here. 110.75 is set. I've already completed my landing in a tab, so runway heading is going to be 164. We have our temperature in there. It's a flaps 5 landing on today's arrival. We don't need to do flaps full landing. It's a big runway. And our V speeds are as followed for a flaps 5 landing. So there we have it. Coming up on 14,000. Looks like we're going to be a little bit higher than expected. I'm going to actually get us down to 5,000 feet as we start the descent down to Seattle. So we're going to go on a heading here, 343. I've already practiced this approach. The aircraft just this aircraft does some weird things in approach mode. I don't understand why, but after, I guess, this USR, this is their vectoring waypoint, we're gonna actually, the aircraft is gonna want to follow a different path for whatever reason. So once we go to a 343 heading, actually I can go ahead and do that now. I'll get the aircraft already on that heading for us, rather than nav kind of take us somewhere else. That's what I have planned here. So we'll stow the speed brakes. We're at 250 knots. I'll slow the aircraft down to about 210. Get ourselves established on this approach here. We'll slow the descent. No need to be going 2,500 feet per minute. We'll go to about 1,600 feet per minute. We are on a heading, so we'll just vector ourselves onto the ILS. Coming up on 10,000 feet now. We do have our barrel set for 610. It's actually 615, I believe. But for some reason, I cannot set 615. We have our airport off to the left here. I had to, so this airport conflicts with the default handcrafted scenery. You have to actually delete it prior to installing this. When I was doing some landings here, I noticed that parts of the runway and taxiways were broken, and sometimes it would look like I would run into like an invisible wall. So hopefully that is fixed. I have not checked to see if, since deleting the handcrafted airport, if that has made the scenery more stable. So I guess we will definitely find out. Let's get the aircraft nice and slow here. I don't know if a direct, see, we lost some of our waypoints there. I can't even do a direct to a gain, so what I'll do is I will, stay in the heading mode and we'll vector ourselves towards the runway there. Go to about 1,000 feet per minute. Been a stable flight so far, no complaints. I just noticed this aircraft does some weird things on the approach. I don't know what it is, but the aircraft does not follow the flight plan. I've noticed it twice so far. Obviously the first video that I put out with the flight into Key West, we noticed that, and then again here on this, I did a practice flight, I noticed it, I did a practice landings here, and I noticed that the approach just for whatever reason wouldn't stabilize. So. A lot of things to be worked out here in the sim. If I'm not in the sim, for this aircraft. We're going to give us some space here. We need to be at 5,000 for a gain, so we're going to give us some space here before we make that left turn. Beautiful day here in Seattle. So I'm going to go ahead. We'll start that. We'll start that left turn. We're going to stay in heading mode. Showing us about 19 miles out. We'll go heading 236. And I'll actually go ahead flaps 1 and speed check 190. Remember, flaps 5 approach. As we approach a gain, I will go ahead and switch over the nav source over to localizer 1. For the approach, we need to be established at Finca for 1900. All told, we're at 5,100 feet. Go to 2,000. Still got some time. And we'll see if the localizer gets it self-established here. We're gonna go course 164. Localizer coming in. And we'll hit the approach button. Could have hit it a little bit sooner. That's my fault there. Overshot the localizer there. That's okay. We'll get it back on track. We'll get her back on track. You can see the glide slope right there. It will come in momentarily. We are still about 15 miles out. We're going to maintain our flaps 1 and our speed. We fly over beautiful Seattle. Derziki Design has a has an add-on for I think Seattle landmarks. Glide slope is captured. Localizer coming back in. Come up top here. Turn the rest of our signs on. Missed approach altitude. Let's double check Navi graph is going to be 5,000. We'll plug that in there. 12 miles out. We'll go ahead, flaps 2. And plug down 170. Double check our speed here on landing. 136. Got it. It's got us about 9 miles out, not 10 miles out from Seattle International. And we'll go ahead, flaps 3.
2,500.
Keep the speed 170 for now. Go ahead, gear down. Speed check. $153 on the speed. Looking good. Flaps 4. It's 6 miles out. And we'll go ahead. Configure for the final stage of flaps. Flaps 5, and we'll go 130. I think it's 133. Let me double check. $136. Okay, we got gear down 3 green. Flaps 5 is set. Altimeter 30.17. We are 1,600 feet above the runway. Auto brake set to medium. Make sure all of our signs are on. Seatbelt lights. Everything looks good. Gonna go ahead and take the throttles. About 1,000 feet above my aircraft.
1,000.
Check. 2 whites, 2 reds, looking good. Gotta keep the speed up. Bleeding off some speed there. Let's try to butter this landing. I know we were a little firm in Key West.
400. 400.
Callouts are a little wonky.
400. 400.
2 whites, 2 reds, looking good on the approach. Stable. Landing.
300. 100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Goes down gently, reverses out. I'll take that. $70 knots, check. Ladies and gents, welcome down to Seattle. Auto brake coming off. We're going to go ahead and vacate off to the left here. The last time I vacated off here, I hit a wall, an invisible wall, because I did not delete the Asobo handcrafted Seattle, and looks like we're okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'll take that all day. We're on Papa. We're going to cross a few runways here on Papa. I'll call up GSX. We want Quebec 4. Says it's too small.
The chosen position is too small for your aircraft.
And Alaskan Airlines. We'll stay on Papa. We're going to cross 16 center and then 16 left. Let's go ahead and clean up the flaps here. Come up top and we will go ahead. We'll get the APU started. Hour and 29 minutes. I believe we are 10 minutes ahead of schedule. It's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. Okay. Start slowing the aircraft down as we pass 16 right. Can anybody name that mountain out in front of me? Beautiful mountain. We flew over that on the descent. We're across 16 left, not 16 right. Cross the runway, and then we're going to make a left onto Bravo. So we are going to Quebec 4. That's where the aircraft last deboarded from. We'll stay on Bravo. We're going to taxi Bravo to November, November to Whiskey, and then we should be somewhere up there. I want to have a look at the scenery. Performance, Again, I gotta load up an aircraft in here that's more FPS friendly. This should be November here, so we're gonna go ahead and make a right. Landing lights are off. We are off of the runways here. Get on to Whiskey. And then here's Quebec 4 right there. Looks like our marshaller is waiting for us. So what we can start doing start turning the aircraft. It's not showing a distance thing, that's okay. Parking brake is on. We have APU on. Go ahead and kill both engines. Come back up top here. Smoking lights coming off. Fuel pump coming off. Sorry, electric pump coming off. And let's see if we can deboard.
Is too small for your aircraft. Deboarding requested.
Deboarding requested. We're gonna have to come in here and we're going to have to open up all of the doors. Don't know what side. Yeah, okay, there we go. Well, there we have it, ladies and gents, down here in Seattle with the Alaska SkyWest Embraer E175. Beautiful flight. Great day for flying, you know, clear skies in Salt Lake, a little gusty, but that's okay. Aircraft is a little sensitive on takeoff roll, but hey, practice makes perfect. This is our technically second flight in this aircraft. And I hope the next time we get back into it, I don't think I'm going to do another video in this aircraft because I'm anticipating VNAV implementation with the proper ILS system. I think this coming Tuesday, so that would be tomorrow. And then we'll see what the change log says, and then you know, I want to get back into this aircraft. I think it's a nice little addition to Microsoft FlightSim. Hopefully, a lot more streamers will get into it and enjoy it like I am. It's a nice aircraft to fly. Just once you learn all the little things with it, then you know, you can get yourself from point A to point B. That's all that really matters. So, but anyway, if you're enjoying the content, ladies and gents, don't forget to smash down that thumbs up button. Subscribe to the channel if you have not. We're almost at 400 subs, so not too far away. and then hopefully by the 500 sub mark, I'll be streaming once a week. That's my plan. I'll do some live streams on Monday. But anyway, I don't know what our upcoming flight's going to be. I do know that there was a World Update 14, I believe. I'll see what airports were developed by Asobo, and then maybe we'll do a flight there, probably in the A320. I did promise we're going to be doing some Dreamliner ops. Yes, I have not forgotten about that. We are going to be in the 787-800, and I think we are going to fly with Jetstar in Australia. So we'll do some ops out there with Jetstar. I don't see too many Jetstar ops. We're going to be in the Kuro 787-8. Still trying to get a hold of it. You know, trying to figure it out. I haven't really been flying it all too much, but we will be doing some of those flights. So we'll see what that's all about. There's some great news about that aircraft and a lot of hype about it. So let's see what it's all about. Anyway, ladies and gents, I'll catch y'all in the next one. Be good, be safe, and I'll chat to you guys later. Peace.